One of the most common questions I hear from students is, if pure awareness, the self, is already fully present, why does it feel like it's covered? Why do I feel disconnected from it? Or why am I not knowing it? In this video, I'm going to show that the self isn't covered or hidden or difficult to access. In fact, almost the opposite is true. The truth is that it's simply being consistently overlooked. And I'm going to use the framework of the 3 gunas to investigate our moment-to-moment experience in order to explain why this is happening, so that you can see through the apparent veil created by these gunas. Because when you shine the light of knowledge on this veil, it doesn't have to be removed, it simply becomes transparent. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Catherine, and I take the insights gained through living 15 years with a self-realized sage in an ashram in the Himalayas to share the teachings of non-duality in a clear and accessible way. And if you're new to the concept of the 3 gunas, I've written a PDF booklet about them, which you can be emailed for free, so I'll add that sign-up link in the description box below. But very briefly, in Vedic philosophy, the 3 gunas are 3 fundamental qualities of nature, which are in constant flux, and through which the appearance of this whole manifest world is created and experienced. So coming back to the main point of this video, why is pure awareness, your unchanging reality, being so consistently overlooked? And the reason is because attention habitually rests on the familiar patterns of experience, on the compelling movement and feeling of experience, and then places a sense of this is me on those patterns and movements, while overlooking the actual substance of which all experience is made, which is pure awareness itself. So let's investigate this a bit more deeply. When you look closely at your day-to-day experience, you'll notice that it's never static. Sensations are coming and going, your thoughts are constantly shifting, moods rise and fall. The content and quality of your experience can feel very different from one moment to the next. And the problem is that we assume that this changing quality of experience is who I am. So for example, experiencing restlessness, we interpret as I am restless. Experiencing dullness equals something's wrong with me. Or experiencing clarity leads us to conclude that I am closer to the truth. So these are all examples of identification with the gunas. The first of these patterns, restlessness, is rajas. The nature of rajas is movement, activity, momentum. It's present whenever there's a sense of doing, striving, planning, or trying to get somewhere other than where you are now. When rajas is operating, experience may feel dynamic and purposeful, or it may feel agitated and anxious. But in either case, attention is being pulled forward towards the next thought, the next action, the next improvement, or the next worry. And because of the nature of rajas, awareness gets interpreted as the doer, as one who is involved, who's responsible for making things happen, who's deciding, acting, moving. Then there's tamas. Tamas is heaviness, inertia, dullness. In our experience, it shows up as tiredness, confusion, a feeling of physical and emotional weight, or a sense of stuckness. And when tamas is dominant, experience feels dense and unquestioned, and it can seem as if clarity is entirely absent. The conclusion that I don't understand, I'm not getting it, feels very real, as if it's describing something essential about you. But even here, something really important is being overlooked. The heaviness itself is known. There's an awareness of dullness, an awareness of not understanding, an awareness of not seeing clearly, which means awareness itself is still as fully present as ever. The third pattern is Sattva. Sattva brings clarity, ease, harmony, and understanding. This is the state that most spiritual seekers value because the mind feels quieter and more transparent. And there may be a genuine sense of peace or insight, But ultimately, even the sattvic state needs to be seen through, because here too something subtle often goes unnoticed. Even the clearest and most refined and peaceful spiritual state, if it changes, is something that's being experienced. So rajas moves, tamas obscures, sattva illuminates. But all three are changing conditions of experience. They arise and subside and are known by you, which means they cannot be what you are. Because what you are doesn't come and go, right? It has perfect continuity. What you truly are is the knower, or knowingness itself, not the known. And this brings us directly to the question of why pure awareness, the self, is overlooked. Awareness is not hidden behind experience. It's not buried underneath the gunas. It's not something that only appears when the gunas are removed. The self, or pure awareness, is overlooked simply because it doesn't have the characteristics that the mind has been trained to value. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't intensify or weaken. It doesn't arrive as a special experience. So because that awareness doesn't have any qualities to fix on, the mind has decided that pure awareness is nothing, that you don't know it, that you aren't experiencing it. But it's like the silence in which all sounds appear, unnoticed precisely because it never changes, but absolutely indispensable to everything that's heard. But attention filtered through the ego mind naturally goes to what moves, what changes, what has content, and then it places a sense of I am, I do, I know on that. This is what's meant by the word maya, the phenomenon whereby changing patterns of experience are mistaken for your identity. And this insight is central to teachings such as the Bhagavad Gita, which repeatedly point out that in this manifest world, gunas act upon gunas, while the self, you, Krishna, remain untouched and uninvolved. Once this is seen, something really important begins to shift. Instead of trying to get rid of restlessness or dullness or any other state, there's a growing recognition that all of these belong to experience, but that awareness itself has never been caught inside any of them, any more than the screen of your device is currently caught inside my face or form that you're watching appearing on it. So the self doesn't need to be uncovered, accessed, or improved. It simply needs to be noticed. And this is actually why meditation is so helpful, because we can think of it as the equivalent of switching off your device, or at least turning the brightness and sound right down so that the images no longer seem to obscure the screen. And then, having been seen clearly, a truer kind of knowledge can take over. So even though you may be paying attention to me and my words on this video, you aren't worried that you've lost the screen or that the screen is hiding in me. So this pure screen-like awareness, the true self, is what's been present throughout every state, every experience, every moment of your life. It gives you your sense of continuity. After all, if you think back to when your body was 4 years old, the body you identified as you, the thoughts and feelings you thought were you, were completely and utterly different from what you're experiencing now. But you aren't different. You're the unchanging awareness in which all of these experiences have come and gone, but which has remained exactly the same. But this awareness has been overlooked because attention has habitually rested on what changes rather than on that which knows change itself. In future videos, I want to show more clearly how attention becomes so convincingly occupied. But for now, just notice that whatever can be observed is moving within the gunas, but the knowing of it is still. Pure awareness isn't something you need to bring into experience. It's that which has never left. Bye for now.